Now our main aim is to specify the legend. Okay, so in order to specify a legend, we can simply just use the function that we are familiar with, which is legend, and we specify the position. Let us say right. Okay, now let us specify legend and let us assign the levels. Remember that we want to we have grouped these points based on species. Okay, remember it has to match the color that we pass in here, has to match. And then if we come in here and say blue, green, then it's red. Okay, so now the last part is to actually add the points to the legend. So if we add the points to legend, remember it's 16. So let's try to run this. Now if you run this, you notice that we have now managed to add what? The legend. And now we're able to see which set of points belong to which type of species. Now I want us to understand another function of this argument called insert. The function of this argument is to simply just insert the distances from the margins. Okay, so we get able to try and move this legend. So let me first create this scatter plots, do the scatter plots without the legend. And now if we come in here and say insert, let us say for example we set it to 0.1. So let's run this. So you can notice that now our legend is mighty clear, and it is now have inserted the legend from the margins, okay, of this plot. So we are now able to see clearly this legend. So you can simply just play around with insert and try to enter different values, but it's a matter of whether it is clear which points belong to which species. Now let us try to customize both the shapes and colors. Now if you can remember, we had a vector of colors as well as a vector of shapes. If you can remember, for PCH is that we had this vector of shapes, and for colors we simply just have colors. So let's run this. Now you can see we have managed to group by both the colors as well as the shapes. Now let us specify the legend. Say in this case we want our legend to be positioned at the bottom. Next is legends. So here we specify the levels. Okay, so remember that we want the levels of species. And then we specify the color. Remember that the order of the colors, the way we have added them, we first had blue, then we had green, then we had red. Following is what? The shapes, all right? And then for the shapes, we had 16, 17, then it's 18. Remember the order matters. Now I want us to play with this argument insert. So this argument insert, we can set it, say 0.25, and then when we are now aiming to take the legend and plot it outside the main plot, we have additional argument which is xpd, and we set that argument to true. And now because we want this legend to be here at the bottom, we don't want it to be vertical, but we want it to be horizontal. So we have to also specify that this legend has to be horizontal by setting this argument to true. When it's come to insert, you can go ahead and try to play around with this argument to eventually position your legend. And then when you specify horizontally, we mean that since it's here at the bottom, we want it to be displayed horizontally. So let's run this. Now, it seems like when we try also to zoom, we are unable to see this legend, that is because of our value of insert. So let us also try to manipulate this. Now, what you should notice is that in order for this case to get this legend to be in quite a right position, you have to play with the insert argument. Okay, so if we come in here, so the value of minus 0.19 was the one that was able to show this legend in quite a better way. So you can also change this argument. It's a matter of where do you want your legend to be at. But now we can see we are able to see how are these points grouped based on the color as well as the shape.